kept getting apologies. People said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's running late," but you guys are feeding me. So I was like, "This is fine. Take your bedtime you want. If you want some more pizza, so you guys are all parents here, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a parent also. I've got 2 daughters, 11 and 15. Those are their names, not their ages. Yes. Okay. But I know being a parent is tough. Being a parent is tough for anybody. This scares me a little bit. Being a parent is tough, but and my wife and I, my wife over there married on the camera, and my wife and I, we've had our children since day one, and I mean, it's got to be tough fostering because you have children who've already been parented before you, and that's got to be tough because there's a good chance that there's some things that need to be reversed and maybe change and reprogram. So I talk to parents all the time about creating habits, creating cycles for our children. Because whatever we do and what we say when our children are young is what they end up doing and saying when they grow up. So we create these cycles. We want to create positive cycles for them. But how do you go about doing that for children who already have these cycles established? Then what do you do? Now I didn't go through the foster care system, but my mom, she had me when she was 18 years old, and she was young, she was poor, she was African American, and she's single, so she did the best she could to raise me. When I was 1, she met a man who became, I call him Dad, because you know, and he raised me up like his own. But they didn't get along so well. So he was in and out of my childhood. So basically, my mom did all the raising for me, and she did the best she could. And she did a lot of good stuff. And when I was 15, we didn't have a dishwasher at my house. Well, we had a dishwasher. I was a dishwasher. And my mom would say to me, to wash the dishes. And I remember one time, she told me, wash the dishes. And I don't know if you have mom like this. My mom said to me, you say to me, go ahead and do something, and then I have to check it. Then I have to check your work. You guys have mom like that? Yeah, check your work? Or any mom or dad to check, you're not done, you're not checking? Okay. So my mom, I was done. I washed my dishes, I put them in the drying rack. I said, Mom, I'm all done. Let me go check. She comes, look up, she's like, no, this is not going to do. So what's going on? I look, there's nothing in the sink, and there's no dried cheese or eggs on the dishes. And I looked, my mom had her hand on there, she pointed way over by the refrigerator on the counter, there was some crumbs on the counter. She said, you see those crumbs, you didn't clean those crumbs, you know that part of washing the dishes is to wipe down the counter, right? But I didn't think, I said, oh, thank you. She said, now you wipe down the counter and then I'll come back and check it. So I didn't argue with my mom. I was very respectful of my mom, but I did a lot of talking under my breath when she walked away. so I was like, talking about, tell me to wash this. How am I supposed to know you're going to have to clean up the counter? If you want me to clean the counter, you tell me to clean. I would be glad to clean the counter. You have to tell me that. When I grow up, if I tell my kids to wash dishes, I expect the dishes. If they won't, I'm never going to do that. Well, 25 years later, I'm a full-grown man, got kids of my own, don't have a dishwasher. And I come home one day and there's dishes are clean. I was like, oh, this is great. Dishes clean, sitting in the drying rack. And I look over to my left and there's some cookie crumbs on the counter. No big deal, right? But I don't know what happened. I don't know how it started. I know it started down here and it worked its way up. And I can feel it. You ever feel sick and you know you just can't stop it, right? It just spewed out of me. And I said, who washed the dishes and didn't wipe down the counter? Because you know that's part of the job of washing dishes. I couldn't believe it. I had just become my mom. I had just become my mom. But that's what happens. That's what children do. Children, they become us, like it or not, right? So that's why it's important that we instill in them, we model for them what we want them to become. So if we want them to be healthy, we have to say, eat right, and exercise, and then we sit with a bag of chips for 7 hours watching Dance with the Stars, right? If we want, we got to put some vegetables on our plate. I saw some of your kids on that side right there. I was glad to see that. If we have to get out there and walk around and play ball and go swimming and do something with them, exercise. And we want our children to be honest, and we can't just say, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, and then come home with some paper clips and highlighters we got from the office supply. You know, that we took that from the closet. At least you can't do that. And then and we go to the grocery store, and the clerk gives us $5 extra. We should say, oh yeah, this is too much. We have to model that. If we want our children to have happy, strong, loving marriages, we need to take care of our marriages, not in spite of the children, but because we have children. Because we have children, we need to. So when children see that their parents are in love, they feel safe in the family. It's true. But I fear that it might be a little more precarious in a foster family situation, especially as a child in a family. So because I don't have personal experience with the foster care system, I called upon a friend of mine named Chris. Chris and I went to high school together, and she had a dysfunctional, abusive upbringing. And so by the time she was 13, she found herself in foster care. And so I said, Chris, I'm going to be talking to these people. Tell me, what should I know, and what kind of, I want the perspective of the child, what's it like from their point of view. And so I picked her brain, I talked to her for a long time, and one of the biggest themes that resonated with her was security. Security was so important. She wanted to feel safe in her new home, she wanted to feel like it was her home, she wanted to feel like it was her family. And for foster parents, she told me if the foster parents weren't connected, she was concerned that what if they don't stay together? And if they don't stay together, what happens to me? So her concern, she wanted them to be strong because for her own security, right? So you and your partner need to be a team when parenting. And when you bring a new person, a new member home, be it a newborn, be it a foster child, your attention needs to also on that new person. You might be confused, it's in a new environment, a familiar environment, might be scared, but your job is to make them feel at home, feel safe, feel loved. So like the parent of a newborn, you also have to, your relationship, your marriage has to kind of work around this new person. With a foster child, you gotta show your love, of course. Help break down those walls. Because a lot of them will have walls they need to build up. Because these children, they know the family can be taken from them. They know that. And so why should they get attached? And they know it can be taken away. Why should they put their neck on the line? Why should they take the risk of loving if they know that can be taken away? Right? So you need to be patient. You need to be patient. Show them love. Even when you're frustrated and angry, and you will be frustrated and angry if you haven't already been frustrated and angry. All parents have been frustrated and angry. But it's so important, though, to recharge as a couple. Yes, this new family member is going to be important in your life, and is important in your life. But the reality is, once the routine has been established and kind of getting comfortable, and they realize that, okay, this is going to be my new home, this is going to be okay with me, then it's important that you strengthen the bond between you and your partner. You say, why do I need to worry about that when I have a baby or a child in the house? I see it all the time with newborns, with parents of newborns. I see it all the time. A newborn comes in the house and it's all, so then the tension between the couple, usually there's less tension, which makes sense. It's common, it's normal, because there's a new person. You got to pretend there's a new person and they're helpless. You got to box them and get them to feel like they're part of the family. But then what happens is very often as the new person starts to get accustomed, very often lots of new parents, they don't make that shift and find that balance again. And as a result, you have a baby who gets a lot of attention, and then they become a toddler who gets a lot of attention, and then grade school who gets a lot of attention. But they don't know what a loving, strong relationship looks like, because they haven't been modeled for them. And so that starts a cycle when they grow up and they have children of their own, they're not quite sure how to have a strong relationship. So we need to model that for them. But even more important though, these children, they may feel loved, but they may not feel safe. They may not feel secure. Children need to know their family is stable. So they feel all this love. My parents love me, but they love each other. And so they don't need to wonder if their parents are going to separate, they're going to fight, if they're going to divorce, especially if they're teens. It's down right here. I don't know. Teens have a lot going on. They've got school, sports, driving, college admissions, dating, part-time jobs, social life. What am I missing? Hormones. What's that? Anything else you want to throw in there? They got a lot going on. So they don't need to be concerned with their family structure stability. We want to make sure that they don't have to worry about that. You might have the most stable family, the most functional home, the most balanced, loving environment for your team, and they will find something wrong with it. Or with you, or with both, but probably with you. Because that's how teams are. Any of you have teams? Okay, so you know. I've got a 15-year-old at my house, and I love her to death. I love my 15-year-old so much, but she does her very best not to use words to communicate with me and my wife. A few words about no, yes, I don't know. That's pretty much it. She does her best not to talk to friends, she's chatting up, FaceTime with them, and texting, oh, yeah, in the car, blah, 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 how you doing? And so if she strings more than 3 words together, it's because she either wants something, I did something wrong, I embarrassed her, or I'm insensitive. That's how it is. So let's not give them any more reason to question their family stability. That's why it's crucial that parents make time for themselves and build romance into their relationships. In other family situations, most of the time kids feel unconditional love. Mom and dad don't love me no matter what. I think that probably depending on the fostering situation, that may not be as obvious. Chris told me, Chris is one of the talking about this. Chris told me that a foster child also needs to feel unconditional love. She said it's so crucial that you feel as though no matter what, parents can love. There needs to be enough leeway to allow for mistakes as well as forgiveness. So there's a precarious line you walk. Because what I'm telling you right now is that as a couple, you need to make sure you bond together. But then you also don't want to do it in such a way that your child feels like that, right? So you have this precarious line to walk like, okay, let's build our relationship, but let's also make sure that our child doesn't feel like, I can't get into that, because they're so connected. That being said, you need to connect for long-term benefit of your family, your child, as well as your relationship. So what does that mean? Okay. Be sure you take time for yourselves as a couple. I'll say it again. Oh, I love it. She wrote it there. Be sure you take time for yourself as a couple. I tell couples to schedule it. Schedule it in. And I mean that, what I mean by scheduling, daily, your daily schedule, monthly, and annually. I think it's really important. And I'm not talking, I don't know how many of you ever have said you take a yoga class, and maybe signed up for a yoga class, and you took it, and it was like, okay, all right, and you went back next week, and then it's like, and the 3rd week, you slipped your mind, right? And then the 4th week, it's just gone. I don't want this to be one of those things where in 2 months, it slips your mind and it's gone. It's so crucial that you two as a couple connect, and you do it regularly. That's I guarantee it's going to help your relationship and your family and your child in the long run. So no matter what, so daily, monthly, annually, no matter what, every day connect with your partner for 10 to 20 minutes. Find 10 to 20 minutes.
talk to your partner about their day, unwind together, catch up. It could be when they get home. It could be when the kids go to bed. It could be in the shower. It could be when you both are in bed and the lights are out, and when you get to go to the off. It's really important that you do it every day. Now, I wrote one of my books I wrote was called The Finance of Romance. Finance of Romance is all about investing in your relationship the way you invest in finances. And people invest in finances, they save money and they earn money, and they do daily little things, little coupons, shopping sale, turn the lights off and down the hallway when you go to sleep so you can save pennies here, dollars there. Those pennies and dollars, they add up. Okay? These little things you do 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day together add up. They add up. So not only spend 15 minutes together, make sure you make sure you hug, touch this other person in your life. Tell them you love them every day. When you go your separate ways. Have a nice day. I love you every day. Make sure you kiss every day. Just those little things will add up. That's daily. Monthly. The monthly stuff is really important. Monthly, set dates for each other, for yourselves. So sit down at the beginning of the month, open up your plan book, your schedule, your iPod, whatever you want to do, whatever you got to schedule, and find dates. Find dates you can go ahead. If you do it once a month, great. If you do it twice a month, better. If you fit 3 in a month, more power to you. But you want to set up dates, and it doesn't have to be long. It can be just 2 hours. Go to the beach together, go to the movies, go get lunch. But you want to find time where you two can connect with them. It's really important to do that. And when you set them in your planner, they're solid. And so something else comes up, they've got to work around that because those are going to be solid for you. Because it's important that you guys do that. And now, once you have your planner out, you have it out already. Might as well set in their family fun days. And that's the portion I was talking about where you want to make sure your child knows that they're just as important as connection between you and your spouse, and your partner. So, you open your plan and you go, Mom and Dad, we're going to go have a date on this date, we're going to have a date this day. Well, guess what? This day we're going to bowl, and this day we're having a movie night. And so they realize, their relationship is really important, but so is our relationship with the family. You want to find that balance for them. So once you have the date set, I don't know your personal stories, but you want to make sure you have a way to someone watches kids, right? So it depends on your situation, I guess, and how old the child and how long you have the child and the background. But yeah, you want to get family in town. Grandma comes over and watches the kids. Get babysitting. If you have other families that have kids their age, go with them for those. Do a swap, and then the next time they want to go on a date, you do sleepovers. But you want to make sure you can find that time to get away to. So that's daily, that's monthly, and then annually. Annually, try to see if you can set up a getaway for the 2 weeks. A getaway to just go on to San Francisco, Las Vegas, bed and breakfast, once a year. Once a year, just set it, put it on the calendar, and set it. That's our time to go. Now, why do you do that? A couple things. First off, you do it once a year because it can be financially tough. So give yourself 12 months every month. Just excited about it. Stick it aside. What it does also, it gives you something to look forward to. Because sometimes you're like, oh gosh, well, this is getting crazy. But you know, 2 months so it gives you something to look forward to, and that anticipation builds excitement and builds a connection between you and your partner. So you want to make sure you have daily, monthly, and your annual. Okay? You also want to make sure that if you can, have a getaway. So once a year. So that they know, Mom and Dad, they're going to go over to San Diego, but with a family, we're going to be going to Universal Studios for the weekend. And the getaway is different than a family fun. Getaway is time you're out of the house, you spend the night in a hotel or somewhere else. You're going to be gone for a couple days. days, it could be longer in each situation. But it gives them, again, mom and dad, it's special for them. They get this, but they're also caring enough about me that we're all going to do this. We want to throw that in also. So it's all about balance in their eyes as well as your eyes. They need to know that they are important to you, but that your relationship with one another is important as well. Because you need to remember throughout this whole journey. You know, you got to make sure that you dedicate time and energy to that other person in your relationship. And once you and your partner establish a connection with each other, and you start to build this foundation of a stable family unit, and your child feels more comfortable, then you can start to focus on your child's success. Now, Lillian was telling me that many foster children have experienced some sort of trauma before getting into the foster care system. So how do you motivate a young person who's been traumatized and they're in a new family situation, trying to figure out where they fit in the world? How do you motivate them to go to school? I've been a public school teacher for 18 years, and I'll tell you from experience that a child cannot be successful academically if their basic needs aren't met. Their basic needs aren't being met. They can't focus in school. They can't. How can you expect someone to learn the steps of long division, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, square, all bigger? How can you expect them to do that when they're going, am I going to have dinner tonight? Where am I going to sleep tonight? Will mom and dad be fighting tonight? Will there be abuse from me and my siblings? It can't happen. There's no way a child can be focused on division if they're trying to survive. So it goes back to the first goal that we need to establish as parents is we want our children to do well in school. To do well in school is stability. If they know that you're going to be there for them, if they know there's going to be food on the table, if they know they got a place to sleep, if they know that mom and dad are going to be fine, if they know no one's going to be abusive to them, then they can stop worrying about how am I going to survive, and they can start thinking about being more successful. So going back again, it may take time to show that's what success in school starts. Show them you care for them, that this is really their home, that this is really their family. One thing Chris kept telling me is that about her foster care experience is that she said she didn't feel well. She didn't feel well. She said it never felt like home to her. She said it felt like she was sleeping at a friend's house. And I didn't quite understand what she meant by that. She didn't feel like she was sleeping at a friend's house. She told me there are people who are nice enough, polite, but it never felt like it was mine. She said, I never felt like I belonged. And what really got me, she said, I was just a long-term overnight guest. That's powerful. A long-term overnight guest. So you need to make sure your child doesn't feel like an overnight guest. Right? Because when they feel secure, when they feel that this is their home, they can shift their focus from surviving to thriving and succeeding. So what do you do if your child is just plain old struggling in school? If you believe it's an organic issue, a learning disability, you have to be the advocate for your child. So you go and you go to school and you talk to the teacher, you talk to the principal, you can set up ask for an SST, student study team meeting, and all the invested parties, the parents, teachers, principal, school psychologist, counselor, they all come together and they try to figure out, okay, what's the issue? Let's figure out how we can help this child. And if it turns out, well, how is it? This is wonderful. I feel real good about this. Great. If you come out of that meeting and you go, you know what? This didn't work. It needs to be more. You have the right as a parent. You can have them tested. You can have them tested. And it seems like many of you might know what I'm talking about here. So you have to write out, dated, because there's 60 days. Well, they have 60 days to test with your child and give you the results. Make sure you have a copy for yourself and give a share. But if your child, it's not a disability. My child's just not motivated, they just struggle in some areas. So what do you do if that's the case? This is a huge running theme in my latest book, Safety of Parenting. If a child is successful, then that builds confidence. And confidence leads to more success. So in essence, success breeds success. If our children are struggling in school, if they're unmotivated, if their confidence levels is low, if your confidence level is low, if you don't have faith in yourself, there's no reason to work harder. No matter who tells you you need to work harder, if you truly don't believe you can. I was talking to my students about this today, actually. I said to them, I love basketball. I play basketball all the time. And if someone says, you can slam dunk that 15-foot hoop, there's no way, no one's ever slammed dunk that 15-foot hoop. And someone says, you just need to keep training. There's no way I'm going to train hard to slam dunk a 15-foot hoop because I don't believe I can do it. There's no reason for me to do that. If you have a child who just straight up does not believe they can perform, if you say work harder, there's no reason to because they don't believe it. But success changes that. Success does change that. When you're successful, you realize you're capable. You realize you have potential. You realize that you can. You hold your head a little higher. Stand up a little straighter. And it allows you to step out of your comfort zone. Now, Lillian told you I wrote 4 books. 3 of them are about love, romance, and relationships. So you are looking at a very romantic man right here. Okay? You're very honest about it. You don't believe anything else. But I'm not proud of this though. I'm not proud, but it's the fact that when I was single, I had no game. I had no game when it came to dating. I was horrible at asking a woman out on a date. Terrible at it. and if I got on a date, I couldn't read signs that seemed pretty obvious now. I couldn't read signs. I did not know when to go in for the kiss. This was, I was not, yeah. I would find myself in relationships. I don't know how it happened, but I got in relationships. And when I was, that was my comfort zone, you know, so I was real good. I was romantic when I was there. But just getting there was the hard part for me. It was horrible at this, and as a result, I made hundreds of excuses when it came to asking girls out, or not asking the girls out. And I believe I missed a lot of dating opportunities. Well, back in my senior year, there was a young lady named Heather, and she was an attractive young lady, and I would love to ask her out, but I felt she was out of my league, so I didn't ask her out. Well, right before the homecoming dance, we had a talent show at my school, and I felt comfortable. I didn't feel comfortable asking a woman out, but I was comfortable on stage. And so, me and my buddies, we decided we're gonna lip sync the Temptations song, My Girl. And so, so we went and we got a video from the video store, Motown. We watched Temptations and the Four Tops and Jackson 5, and we choreographed our stuff. We were doing our thing, and we had it down. 2 weeks we were just doing it, and I was the lead singer, lead lip syncer. And so we came out on stage, and we had our blazers on and little white handkerchiefs, you know, and sunglasses. And I was just getting into it, just doing things. We nailed it. That was great. And then there were 3 judges, and they were teachers. You can give us a score 1 to 10. And the first judge gave us a 10, the second one gave us a 10, the third one gave us a 12. And we got 32 out of 30 points. So when they announced that we were the winners, the whole student like, and they were so excited. And after people came up to us and congratulating us and saying you did a great job. And can you imagine talking about success, how I felt? I mean, man, my brain was flooded with dopamine and endorphins, neurotransmitters that they treat us for success to make us feel good, kind of give us on a high, right? And then, of course, I didn't have a date to dance. Because I'm telling walking up to congratulate us. Guess what I did? Come on, guys.
Yes, yes.
You got it. I asked you to the dance. What am I thinking? Asking this girl, I can ask anybody, right? But she was out of my league. Why was I doing that? Because of success. My success in my arena, my success on stage, allowed me to have confidence to step out of my comfort zone and push the envelope a little bit. Can you imagine my level of endorphins when she said yes? She did. Oh, you said, white's right here. That's not
All good.
too loud. But that's what we need to do for our children. We need to give them opportunities to find success, to gain confidence, to carry that confidence over to areas maybe in school where they're not doing so well. I teach third grade, and every year I ask my students to write down what's something I should know about you. At the end of the year, what's something I should know about you. And last year there was a young lady, she wrote, "You should know I'm no good in school. Worst thing a teacher can read." I'm like, oh my gosh, this is uphill battle. How am I gonna? She came in, she's like, I'm not good at this. No matter how hard I said, work hard, work hard. She got in her head, I can't do this. It's 15 foot basketball hoop. There's no way I can do it. So my job was that every single time I saw any inkling of success or improvement, I called her on it. Look at that. Making some improvement. You've been working hard. And it turned out she was a pretty good writer. Trying to be a good writer. And I do this activity in my class where students get to write to businesses. And they write to businesses about a service or a product that they like. So she wrote to Tilly's. Tilly's, the clothing store, but they also have, I guess, penny boards, little skateboards, $100 skateboards. And so her friend had a penny board. And so she wrote to Tilly's. Tilly's, I like your skateboard, your penny board. My friend has one, so let me use it. A couple months later, and the way they pass this is they have to get a response back from the business. So that's how they pass this. We get a grade on it. So she gets a box comes with an envelope, and I open it up, and inside it says, "Oh, nice letter, thank you very much. Like our penny board, we have sunglasses for your whole class." So Tilly's sent these sunglasses. So all the kids are so excited. Oh, look at it, they got little Tilly's on the side. They were so excited. She's like, oh, she was feeling so proud. You know. And then there was another box. Open up the other box, and another letter, and it said, "We also want to give you this penny board." And they gave her this penny board. Wow, I know, right? They gave her $100, and she didn't. This is not family means, and it was huge. She had written something that a manager or a supervisor wrote back to her, sent something to all the kids. All the kids were like looking at her, and she's got a skateboard. So I talked to her a little later after that. I said, "Remember the beginning of the year you told me you weren't good at school?" I said, "Well, she goes, yeah, you're really good at writing." And I'm like, "Yeah, you really are. Well, I saw her just about 2 weeks ago after school. She's going to be on her 5th grade soon. And I saw her sitting outside of school with her dad, and I said, "Hey, how you doing in school?" Both of them, so fast. I said, "Really well." So you can tell they weren't thinking about it. Really well. I said, "You know what you told me that?" I know, I was wrong. I'm like, yes! Success breeds success. So we got to find those opportunities for our children. When I wear my teacher hat, I'm going to tell you how incredibly important school success is. We want proficient writers and lovers of books and fluent in math facts. But when I take off that hat, which happens to be a brown fedora with an ostrich feather in it, it's not true. I don't have the brain. I would ask, why do we want them to be successful in school in the first place? Because the truth is, school is not the sole indicator of happiness and success. It's not in life. Doing well in school will absolutely help our children. But there are all sorts of happy, successful individuals who struggle in school. Richard Pryor, Peter Jennings was in the church of Isaac Newton. They all struggled in school. Now, I'm not telling you to throw the baby out with the school bathwater, but I am trying to let you guys know that I don't want you to get too tied down on school if your child is finding happiness and success elsewhere, because we can ride that wave to school success. So that means as a parent, our job is to help our children find their passions. Find their passions, things that they love, things that drive them, things that they want to get out of bed for, unless they're teenagers, they're going to stay in bed anyway. And mind you, passions can change, and that's okay. Passions can change, but as long as we can find a passion for them. The problem is that nowadays I'm noticing that there's a huge obstacle in technology at their fingertips for some kids, because technology can entertain them, so you don't have to look within to find passion. 300 channels and Netflix and YouTube videos and PlayStation, iPhones. So the first obstacle for many of us to overcome is helping our children find their passion. And some of us that would be easy. For others, that could be a little bit more of a struggle. And so we need to be out at things. We need to pay very close attention to everything. So we're driving our kids to school and they're talking to us, and I don't know if you do. I drive my youngest daughter to school every morning, and sometimes my head's thinking about this and that, and she talks to the left, she talks, but there's a good chance she's talking about her passion. So I have to tell myself, do you listen to what you're saying? What are their friends and their teachers say they're so good at? It could be their passion. What are they drawn to as far as books or videos or movies? That could be their passion. Ask questions. Give suggestions. What do you think about photography? When I was your age, I loved water polo. Your friends play an instrument. What kind of clubs do they have in your school? My daughters, when they were younger, they went to Girls Inc. You guys familiar with Girls Inc? Okay. And so the thing I love about Girls Inc. is that every semester, the girls get to choose their classes for the days of the week. So every Monday, they have a class, every Tuesday, and every Wednesday. There's 5 different exposures to different things, soccer and science, and there's writing, and there's cooking. And so they got to find out what they were passionate about, what they liked, and things like that. So good. Like my older daughter, she tried soccer, so I'm not doing that again. So she wasn't really doing it. So once you know your child's passions, then our job is to give them opportunities to strengthen them. Have them join clubs, get classes, get books on the topics, like videos on the internet, have them some teams and groups. Get your hands on equipment and let them go at it. When my oldest daughter was in grade school, one of her passions was writing. Now she's no longer passionate about writing, but that's okay. It's okay. She had her passion. So my job was like, okay, I got to find her opportunities to explore the passion, to make it stronger. So there was an essay contest. They were write about struggles you had in life and how they parallel to Jackie Robinson, the struggles he had in life. So 9,000 entries. She was one of the top 10. So I'm like, oh, that was great. So we got a day, the whole family got a Dodgers day. So we got to go to Dodger Stadium. She was announced on a big jumbotron, and then she got to go to the dugout. She got a game ball. We sat in the owner's box. We were going to sit behind the plate, but Don Newcomb, who was the last surviving teammate of Jackie Robinson, bring the family over here. So we sat with Don Newcomb and Jackie Robinson's daughter, and then she also got a laptop, right? On top of that, right? Talk about success, right? She's like, oh man, she felt so good about her. She said, Dad, I'm gonna write a book. I said, all right, go ahead, write a book. And so she's like, I'm gonna start writing a book. So I helped her along, and I checked her work, praised her, and gave her some 12 months. She worked for 12 months. She really wrote a book for 12 months. Within a month after writing that book, she landed a literary agent. Okay, so my first book, I did not get a literary agent. My second book, I still didn't get a literary agent. She was 10 years old and she had a literary agent. Talk about success breeding success. I'm telling you, she's got success in one area that takes you somewhere else. So once your children's passions start becoming strengths, confidence builds and will hopefully transition to their schoolwork. So I'm not telling you if your daughter is a fantastic ballerina that she's going to ace the trigonometry test. But what I am saying is that she will believe in herself. She's like, wow, I'm good at this. It's like me when we're on stage. We got everyone applying for us. And hopefully she's going to work a little bit harder in math because she feels good about herself as a whole person. right? Does that make sense? And as a result, that hard work, she's going to get her test back. She goes, oh, I did a little bit better. I'm not done. And the next time there's a math test, she goes, I'm not done learning about it. Let me see what I can do. And then she's going to start to see the progress. And then that's when the cycle starts. So then she goes, I can do this. She has this pride. She may never get it, may never be that A student in math, but she's going to hopefully see that success. It all starts with success in their passions. And another thing you're going to want to do at home to help your children become more successful is instill routines. And when a foster child comes into your life, as you know more than I do, that the whole world is wrong for being there. They have to relearn what the rules are, the expectations, the routines. But this is the perfect opportunity to create a learning and study environment, a study routines that will ensure success. So if you don't have a routine, you can pretend like you do. You say, in our house, this is what happens. You come home after school, you get a snack, and you watch TV. You watch TV or letting your screens till 4:30. 4:30, all screens go off. Everyone does homework 4:30 to 6. 6 o'clock, we all meet in the dining room and eat dinner. After dinner, you finish up whatever you're working on, anything you have to do, till 7:30. 7:30, we have our books, we come together, and we read in the living room for half an hour. Now, I'm not saying that's your routine, but what I'm saying is you can create a routine, and even though the child, it may not be their normal routine, nothing is. You know, when they come in, this is all new to them. So this is the perfect time to instill. This is the transition period. So establish these norms, stick with them, and you give your child a great foundation for studying and getting their schoolwork done. And then when you start to see those D's and F's become A's and B's, I want you to do something. I want you to refrain from saying, you're so smart. I want you to refrain from saying, wow, the A is really impressive. And you might say, well, why? Won't that motivate them? That's what I would think. So I've been guilty of this with my own children and with my own students. The research is fascinating. What happens is they've done studies with young people that show that this kind of praise stifles their efforts. So instead of saying you're so smart, you're supposed to praise how hard they work. You're supposed to praise their improvement. So you're going to say, you've gone from an F to a B. Just 3 months. Well, you must have been working really hard. Or I've seen such an improvement in you. So you may say, why do we praise their improvement? Why do we praise their effort instead of their intelligence? It's because when you praise the accomplishment or the intelligence directly, many young people become afraid to challenge themselves for fear that they won't reach the same level of accomplishment. So if you tell them, wow, you're really smart, and they go, oh, I'm really smart, that's who I am, that's my label, I'm really smart. And then get an opportunity to do something else, and they go, I don't want to risk that, because I don't do it, and I'm no longer smart, right? They did this study with 5th graders, and they gave them this really simple puzzle. They said, go ahead, and they all do it, right? And they told half of them, wow, you guys must be really smart. You said puzzle solo. And they told these guys, you guys must have worked really hard to do that puzzle solo. They said, hey, you know what? You got another puzzle. This puzzle is a little more challenging. Who would like to do this? Who would like to try this puzzle? Significantly more students or children on this side raise your hand and say, I would like to try that. Far less over here did. Why? Because these guys knew that this puzzle was challenging, and if they didn't get it, they weren't no longer smart. These guys were already working hard, and this is going to make them work harder. No matter what, if they succeed or not, they're still going to be hard workers, right? So we want to focus on praising our children, by telling them they're doing, they're working hard, that we see their effort, that we see their improvement. Excuse me. So, to recap, got a 5-figure recap. 1, help your child find his or her passion. Give them opportunities to build out their strength. Let this success be accomplished. Establish a good, steady routine. And praise their effort. And their improvement. I got 2 hands, so I got another 5 fingers. Don't forget, show unconditional love. Make your child feel at home and make them feel like they're part of the family. Set boundaries and allow them to feel stable and secure. 1 more finger. That means you and your partner build the relationship with each other, and take time for yourself. You are the foundation of this entire family structure. Being a parent is the toughest job you'll ever love, and I would assume being a foster parent is going to be tougher. But you do it because it's rewarding, right?
Yes.
Most parents are saints for all that we go through. But foster parents, I would assume we go through a lot more than a lot of us parents, other parents. So instead of saints, you're angels. So I want to give you guys a round of applause and thank you very much for having me here today. Do I just walk away with it? Yeah.